Let's see if we can bring in Pat Pagano. Morning, Pat.
I'm here.
Well, I got one computer fixed, and I'm working on another one now. On top of that, I just upset Mike Kazi, so he basically took his ball and went home and didn't want to talk about any sports.
Why'd you upset him?
Because he was saying that the Congress and stuff are full of one percenters. And I told him, what are you drinking? One percenters are billionaires. Yeah, people in Congress become millionaires. They game the system, but they're not the one percenters. The one percenters are the people that that make billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see Bill Gates in the Senate. You don't see Mark Zuckerberg in the Senate. You don't see Warren Buffett in the Senate. You don't see Sheldon Adelson in the Senate.
You don't see Oprah.
So he got mad at me. He wouldn't really talk about sports. So
Okay.
he got mad at me. First time in a long time I was able to get him mad at me.
Well, look at it this way, and you know this. Two things you never really discuss is religion and politics.
Well, that's if you're... just to get Kazi upset every once in a while? Yeah, well, you.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be very close-minded. Like, I was thinking about it the other day, and I am saying, there's a lot of people like, as you know, I do teach a 7th grade class, religion instructions for my parish, and I have friends who will say things concerning that.
Yeah.
And I don't like to get involved with it, but you know what? Since I am, quote, a supporter of it, and I believe in it, I respect your opinion, respect my opinion, let's drop it. Because, the twain will never meet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What they think and I think are two different things. So you just drop it, and it's the same thing, when it comes to politics. My sister is a very, very, very avid Trump supporter. Of course, I am not. Does that mean she's wrong and I'm not? I'm wrong? No, doesn't mean anything. It simply means, this is what you want to do. This is your opinion. You go right about. That's what it's all about. Being in the United States. It's a free country. Think what you want. Do what you want. I know you may not agree with that, Marshall, but I don't want you to get mad at me. I've just learned from past experience, everybody's entitled to their opinion and that's it. You don't like it, walk away.
I agree with that. Now, everybody's entitled to their opinion on the weather. And there's one thing in your weather forecast that it could get interesting next week. But before we get to next week, what about today and tomorrow and this weekend?
I think that it's, considering what they've had yesterday in the plains, and they're still having, we are fortunate. Colorado, portions of the western high plains, 80 to 100 mile per hour winds with blizzard conditions. Conditions there were terrible. They had 100 mile per hour winds with thunderstorms in Texas. Today, the Ohio Valley is under the gun of severe weather. There are still wind advisories out across the plains. We won't see any of that. We'll see some sun. Clouds will continue to develop. 50 to 55 today. Cloudy with showers coming in late tonight. Low 40s. Showers and very mild tomorrow. 55 to 60. Your Saturday, some sun, windy, maybe a leftover shower. Nothing more than that. And aside from the wind, Saturday, 50 to 55, not bad. St. Paddy's Day, sunny, mid-40s. There is a little small disturbance that is going to be streaking out of the Ohio Valley on Monday and toward the mid-Atlantic. And it could bring us here some snow showers. Further south you go, there could be a little bit of light snow. Now, here's the interesting thing. The European model is really not indicating it. The old GFS, the operational model right now, the American model, is indicating it. But the new GFS is not. And now you're talking short range.
Yeah.
You're talking, within 5 days. So within 5 days, these two models are in total disagreement. So let's just hypothetically say right now that I didn't have the old operational GFS. So you'd say to me, so what do you think about Monday? nothing, sun and clouds, based on the new GFS. But if I didn't have the new GFS and I only had the old one, I'd say to you, well, Marshall, I think we're going to have some snow showers on Monday. So that's where it stands. I would lean right now toward the older GFS, thinking that the old one, the new one, has got a lot to do. I went to the new one for the 21st, next Thursday. Back on the 6th, it was forecasting a horrendous storm for us. And again, today, nothing for the 21st.
What about the old one? What's it called?
Nope, nothing. And yet, I still see the makings of if, buts, and ands next week. But even the European is saying nothing. So all of the models are saying nothing. How could I be right and all of them be wrong? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I just don't.
You don't think so what?
I just don't think I could be right and all of them be wrong.
Well, why not? It's happened in the past.
Yeah, but this is not even that strong. If I felt real strong about it, I would say to you, Marshall, I really don't care what any of these models say. There's going to be a storm late next week. But even some of the indications that I've seen this morning, just are not jumping out at me. One of the things that we need here in the Northeast to get big storms, we need blocking. To the north and east of us, over Greenland, and really we have not seen that. So things are just moving right along. And look at this storm yesterday went from New Mexico, and right now is out Nebraska. It's going to cut across Iowa and move up across the Great Lakes. The pressures yesterday in Colorado were 2885. Superstorm. That's why they were getting such strong winds. Wow. Unbelievable. Was one of the most intense storms that I've seen all winter long.
Well, just keep it out there.
Yeah, well, let's go back real quick to 1978. 1978, I think it was in January, a huge storm went up through the Great Lakes. They got blizzard conditions. A week and a half later, a similar storm came up the East Coast. It was known as the Blizzard of 78.
Anything's possible.
Food for thought.
All right. With that food for thought, Pat, it's time to say sayonara for today and speak to you tomorrow.
See you there, and all you 1%ers.
Okay, goodbye. Pat Pagano this morning in the Weather Center.